Hello and welcome to Invitation to Puzzles, where today I have a double arrow puzzle for you. This is a puzzle I set some time ago. So I knew if you've watched recent videos, you've seen me utterly fail to find steps in puzzles that I set like literally a week ago. So this puzzle I have no memory of, uh, but we'll do it together. So this is a double arrow puzzle, and the way a double arrow puzzle works is that if you have two circles that are connected, the sum of the digits along the line has the same sum as the circles. So, for example, if this is a 9 and this is a 9, then I'm saying these three cells sum to 18 because 9 plus 9 is 18. So they could be, for example, 4, 6, and 8 would be a perfectly valid fill for this particular double arrow. Okay, there's a link down in the description if you want to give it a try. And let's try to do it ourselves. So we have two given digits. Usually if there's given digits, you should look at them. So these sum to 11. And 11 is one of those totals you can only do in one way, which is as 1, 2, 3, 5. If you try and throw a 4 in there, it doesn't work. And I do see that gives me some corner marks, like it gives me a corner mark 4 here, a corner mark 7 there. Now, just like regular arrows, if you're doing double arrows, you're frequently looking at long ones because you only get two exterior digits. And so if you only get two exterior digits, the sum can't be that big. It can't possibly be larger than 18 if both digits are 9. Or in this case, it can't be larger than 17 because those can't be larger than 8, 9. But this is a sum of 5 digits. So what's the minimum it could possibly be? Could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be 15. Except if you look, it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because we have a 4 corner mark up here. So the actual minimum here is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So remember your corner marks. They're going to be very important in life. And, well, that is 17. So it has to be this, and these have to be an 8, 9 pair. No choices. Okay, so just like with arrows and a lot of other constraints, you're going to see this sort of minimum equals maximum kind of argument pop up a lot in double arrow puzzles. Now, for a kind of funny reason, this can't be 7 plus 9. That has actually made it impossible to fill these. Because I would need to make these two digits add to 16. And if I'm looking for pairs of Sudoku digits that add to 16, the two options are 8 plus 8, which I cannot do, and 7 plus 9, which I super cannot do. I guess neither of them is very doable. 16 is a unique sum. In other words, you can only do it one way if it's in two digits that see each other. The other way is the 8 plus 8. So if I make this a 9, the universe becomes unfillable. So that's an 8, and that's a 9. And these two digits, they have to sum to 15 without using 7 or 8. So I think you can convince yourself that the most I could possibly do is 6 plus 9, and that is 15. So this has to be 6 and 9, and that 9 tells me the order is that. Now, I do have a quintuple in this column, meaning I know that these 5 digits are 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 in some order. So none of these are 1, 2, 3, 5, or 6. So these are 4, not 7, 8, and 9 is what we have over here. And these digits, therefore, we now know by virtue of this box, they're not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are 6 and 7. And actually, we know the order because of that 6. Okay. Can we do any more Sudoku? let's see. I do see that just by Sudoku 7 in this box is on this line, which at least somewhat pushes up the minimum possible sum of this line. Also 8 is on it, because remember the 8 is over here. So actually the minimum sum of this line is actually quite large because it's got a 7 and an 8 on it, just by virtue of the fact that the 8 in column 3 lands in over here. In fact, the minimum sum would be 7 plus 8 plus 1 plus 2, which is 18. And so the only way this possibly works is if that's a 9 and that's a 9, and these are 1, 2, 7, 8 exactly. And I know that one's not the 7, 8. Okay, and that does a Sudoku looking up. So these aren't 1, 2 anymore. Oops. So now that's a 3, 5 pair. So these aren't 3, 5. Those are 1, 2. This digit is now known just by the column. It's not 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this is a 4. If we look at the missing digits. And by convenience, and this is a neat thing about double arrows, we now sort of have independently gotten this circle and this circle without ever thinking about this line. But now we just know this line has to sum to 17, which is saying that these two have to sum to 13. They can't be 4, 9, or 5, 8. So I guess that means they're 6, 7, I think is the only remaining option there. Let's see. What is this triple? They're not 1, 2. So they're 3, 4, and 5. Not 6, 7, 8. So these are 3, 4, 5. That one's not a 4. So it is a 3 or a 5. Let's see. I know there's a 9 over here. Let's see. What's left? Yeah, I guess this digit can't be very large, I guess is maybe worth saying, because it can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. I don't think it has to be very large, though, but I do see that there's a 9 over here, which is kind of interesting. There's a 6 down here. And I can't use both 1 and 2 down here, so this is a little fussy, but I need these to sum to a minimum of 6 plus 1 plus 3. Because if I do 1, 2, 6 down here, that would make that cell have no fill. So I have to go a little bit more than that. These have to sum to at least 10. Now, the thing about summing to at least 10 is I need one of the digits to be at least 5. And in fact, 5 itself won't do, because the only way I'd get to 10 if one of the digits was 5 is if the other digit was 5. So I need a number strictly larger than 5 in one of these circles. And the only available one in the row is 9. And in fact, the only place the 9 can go, owing to our corner mark, is there. So that's definitely a 9. Now we said this is at least 10, so that could even be a 1, and it wouldn't destroy the world. Oh, this is way less fiddly than I was trying to make it. There's also a 7 down here by Sudoku. So just like there was a 6, there's also a 7. So in fact, these three digits need to sum to at least 14. Which means this is a 5, if you look at it, because it needs to be at least big enough to get to 14, and the biggest I can possibly make it is 5. So it is 5, making these 1, 6, and 7. We can let that 1, 6, 7 look back over here, giving me a 2. Okay, so these are 1, 7, 8, so none of those are a 1. Now one of these is a 5. Okay, this row needs a 1 now. which I guess I can see by writing in what this is, because these can't be 1 from the box. They can be 2 or 3. They can't be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. And so that 2, 3 pair looks across and makes that a 1. Whichever way you want to do that, there's lots of ways to see that. What is this pair? 1, 2, 3. One of them is a 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8. Okay, so these two sum to 12. Okay, that's helpful because these two sum to 12 and these 3 sum to 14. So that seems to make this digit a 2 if we do that, because we know that the two circles on the edges are 5 and 9. So that would be 12 plus 2. Okay, these digits... Oh, these digits are 1, 2, and 3, just by Sudoku, actually. If you look at the box, that's what's left. And those 3 digits sum to 6. So if I look at these two circles, that actually has to be a 1. Kind of surprising. Is that a 2 and a 1? And now these two have to sum to 5, and they can't be 1, 4. So the only thing they can be is 2, 3. But that gives me a 3 and a 2, which gives me a 5 and a 3, which gives me a 3 and a 1 and a 2. Okay, happy with that. I'll go ahead and fill in this triple. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the minimum sum here is 4, 5, plus 5, so that would be 14. So this is a minimum of 5, but I guess it could be larger than that. I don't know if I want to fuss over this too much yet. I do want to think about this line, though. These numbers have to be large. In fact, they can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 6, or 7. So the actual literal minimum that these two things can be is a 5 and an 8. And 5 and 8 is already 13, which would require a 9 here. So in fact, actually, that is a 9. These are 5 and 8, and we actually know the order. 4 over there. That 8 gives me that 4 and that 8. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's not a 9. Over there is not a 2. Okay, so these need to sum to 14. Okay, well, they're not going to be a 4 and a 10, and they're not going to be a 5 and a 9, so they're actually going to be an 8 and a 6. Okay, I'm glad I didn't think too much about this line, since we ended up getting it out of that. Okay, so these sum to 9 plus 5 is 14, so therefore that is a 5, which gives me the 4 and the 5. 6 looks over into this box and places that 6. This in the row seems to be a 4 or an 8. Throwing random additional numbers in here. These seem to be 1, 2, 3. Not 1, 2, 3. Could be 4. Not 5 or 6. Could be 7 or 8 is what I seem to get. And I'm going for a sum of 14. So I can't make this a 7, 8. Or say it another way, if I don't make this a 4, these are a 7, 8 pair, and that's already 15, and I'd need to put a -1 here to make this work. So this has to be the 4, which makes that the 8 and the 7, and the 8 and the 4. And now I can do a little bit of math to say I need these 4 plus 7 plus blank equals 14, so that's got to be a 3. And in this row, we have a 1 and a 2 to deal with. Okay. Let's look at this column, actually. What do we have left? We've still got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's not a 9. This actually, in fact, certainly can't be a 9. Because if this is a 9, I would need to make these two digits add to 18, which would require them both be 9. That certainly doesn't work. It can't be a 7 either. We talked about this back here. If this is a 7, I need to make these two sum to 16, which would only work as 7 plus 9, but that's two 7s in the box. So actually, this is a 1 or a 3, or whatever that is worth. This digit is just the sum of these two. This just can't be a 7 because the sum of these two is not 8 or 9. If you look at the column. So just by a double arrow that's only got a one length line just means these two cells sum to that number. But if this were a 7, this would be a 8 or a 10 based on what you added to it, and it can't be an 8 for that reason. It can't be a 10 for other reasons. Okay, so those are in fact a 1-3 pair, and those sum to 4, which then lets me place a 4 over there. And then let's see, what else are we doing with our lives? Okay, so now the minimum sum of these actually is even bigger than I at first thought, because these don't have 1, 2, 3 from the box. And actually, those two 4s we just placed both look at these cells. And so these are also not 4. So the minimum of these is 5, 6, which is 11. Which in particular tells me that can't be a 1, because then I would need this to sum to 10. So that's a 3, and that's a 1. Okay, now I'm looking for a 2-digit sum to 12. It's not 3, 9. So it's 4, 8, or 5, 7. Okay, and apparently this one can't be 4 or 8. Right. We already said neither of these are 4, so it's not 4, 8. That was part of our even proving that it had to sum to 12. Okay, and so then this sees the 5 up top, so that is a 7 and a 5, making that a 9. And we can see that sort of machine gunning these digits over here. Let's see, that is a 4. These are a 6 and an 8 in some undisclosed order. But that seems to have become a 6 by regular Sudoku. We've got some more stuff. Okay, so these digits are... Well, this digit needs to be at least 5, just by virtue of the fact that these 3 digits are going to sum to a minimum of 6 if they're exactly 1, 2, 3, which I'm not even sure if they could be, but the minimum they could be is 1, 2, 3, which would make this a 5, except it can't actually be a 5. So it's a 6 or an 8 because it can't be a 7 either. Okay, well, it can't be a 6, because if it was a 6, then I'd need these 3 to add to 7, which you can check you can only do as 1, 2, 4. But there's already a 4 in the box. So this has to be an 8. And I'm now looking for a sum to 9 in 3 cells. And sums to 9 in 3 cells you might know a little bit about from regular arrow Sudoku. There's only one of them that doesn't have a 1, and that one is 2, 3, 4, which this can't be owing to that cell. So this needs a 1, and just by Sudoku, that 1 goes there. So we end up with that. And now I need these two to either be 2, 6 or 3, 5. Okay, so this is 2 or 3 only, and therefore this is not 2, 3, and it's not 6 either. So I could just never make this 2, 6 because neither of these cells seems to have been able to be 6. Right, neither of them could be 6. That one from that 6, this one from that 6. So they have to be 3, 5, and that has to go in that order, and that presumably is going to leave us with a completed grid, one hopes. Okay, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 9. Let's see. One of these is a 2, and it's that one. And one of them is a 6, and it's that one. Ta-da. Alrighty. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little exploration of double arrows. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Do please leave a kind comment below. Let us know if you learned something. Let us know if there's any constraints you'd particularly like to see a puzzle of floating around in this series. And with that, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.